Hi, Randy Crabtree here with Tri-Merit Specialty Tax Professionals and host of the Unique CPA podcast. Today, talking with Dawn Brolin, the Designated Motivator. Dawn, welcome to our little fireside chat here.
I love this. Anytime I can hang out with you, Randy, I'm in, man.
No, we're back at you for sure. We are doing this taping live at the Bridging the Gap conference, which you were the keynote speaker at this morning, and you crushed it. You crushed it.
No pressure at all of the previous keynote that you saw me at, and I think I maybe disappointed you a little bit today.
No, don't say that. So what Donna's mentioning is that she gave a keynote in a couple months ago at St. Louis at Scaling New Heights, and you crushed it there too. As well.
Okay. In addition.
Yeah, and I. So when we were there, and we've talked about this a lot, I just had to leave after that room after your presentation, and luckily saw you in the hall, and I honestly could not look at you because I was going to break down because it was the greatest presentation in the history of the world, and you do an awesome job. You live up to the Designated Motivator for sure. I
appreciate that. It's like I really have this passion inside my gut, just in my soul, to deliver and help people and help them realize things and have a better life. That's what we're bridging the gap here is about. Let's just try to all have a better work life, have a better, individual, normal human being life outside of work, and that is just so important that we all can support each other, and that's what we do.
Yep. And so today you were telling the story of you making mindset changes and how that's helped you in the profession and helped you personally, and you want to kind of give us a quick summary of how mindset plays into how you run your business?
Yeah, well, I wish 23 years ago I figured it out, but I decided to wait 23 years, because it's super fun to go through pain and suffering. Who doesn't like that? And, I just got sick of it. I just got sick and tired of feeling I was never getting ahead. I was never able to get caught up. I was not just with work, but with money, too. It was like, we work so hard and we give so much away. I don't even think people necessarily realize it, but we do. We give
a lot away.
So much. And it was like, I wanted to start basing my pay or my pricing based on what the value I'm giving people, not the time I'm giving them. And I think that I wish I'd learned that a long time ago. I'd have been in a whole different position. But, it's all in your mind. There's no truth or fact a lot of times to what we're deciding to do. It's just what we believe to be right or to be true. But really, if you think about really taking yourself and showing yourself the value. And we want to show value in our team. We want to show value in our clients and all these other things. We forget about ourselves. And it's just, I got sick of it. That's at the end of the day, and I got sick of it for my staff and my team, and I said, that's it. We're taking charge of who we're going to work with, who we want to work with, who we think sees value in what we offer them and do for them. And it really has been a huge change and has spilled into my personal life.
And so this is a change that you recently did a year ago now, right?
Right.
And where you completely changed how you're billing clients, how your relationship, you call it relationship pricing, how you've done this relationship. And a year into it now, pros, cons, what's been good, what's anything that any pivots that you need to make?
Yeah, we're pivoting right now big time.
Okay.
Loving the relationship pricing clients, enjoying actually delivering the value we want to deliver for them. Are we at 100% yet? No. We're probably at 65 or 70. But prior to really focusing on those clients, we were probably 30, 40%. Okay. And so we're gaining ground, we're getting better. We're also my whole goal is to cut my tax returns in half at a minimum for the next season and starting to really level off. So I'm actually trying to plan a day where I go in the office and there's nothing to do. That's achievement to me.
You think that's possible?
It's possible. It's up to us. That's the great thing.
Yes,
it's up to us.
Right.
And so that is kind of we're pivoting to say, before we were well, maybe we want 4 or 5 more relationship pricing clients. And now we're No, we want 4 or 5 less than we
Wow.
already have.
All right.
Again, to still deliver quality, I think we didn't necessarily understand how we should price. I think we undervalued our price. Not a big negative thing. We're still all happy with what we're getting paid and what, all of that, but definitely think that we underpriced what we could have charged, and we're going to shift and pivot for this up and coming renewal, if you will.
Right. Okay, well, that makes sense. So I recently talked to Ellen Choi with iWin. Are you familiar with Ellen?
Yep.
And so they deal with the revenue cycle and pricing and billing and all this. And we were just having a discussion on how they're building AI in to predict pricing for jobs, so we don't have to worry about, are we pricing this correctly? Are we going to make the profit we want?
Right.
It's just AI is going to must be different variables built in, and it's going to do that for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited about that. I'm assuming not a tool you use, iWin, right now.
Well,
but,
you know what, I'm not really growing. So I'm not really looking to worry about how much I should be paying anybody.
Right.
I'm just not there anymore.
Right.
The journey through building a business, an accounting firm, just doing the best you can. And, it's been a great run. I've had some great accomplishments, some good things, some bad things, as everyone has.
Yep.
And so, Powerful Accounting is just looking to eventually maybe fade into the wind. I don't know. Ron Baker, I love him. He gave me permission to close the chapter of accounting, and he said, "You did it.
Yep.
You accomplished whatever it was you needed to accomplish, but might be time for you, Brolin, to take the next step and move on to another thing."
Which is speaking.
Which is speaking.
All right, and you are awesome at it.
I really enjoy it. I have a lot to work on. I have a lot of different skill sets to work on with that, but really looking to go into other companies and motivate,
Right.
and to help people with their mindset on, whether they're an employee or a partner or whatever, and just help them move forward, whether that's in a firm themselves,
Yep.
helping firms grow their culture or grow their mindset. And then also in the corporate world, I do some of that already. I do some of that with ADP. I'll go in and talk to their new sales associates and help them understand how to talk to an accountant. Those kind of things that, the simple things like, do you know how your accountant wants to communicate with you? I don't want you to call me. I want you to text me. That's my personal preference.
Right.
I don't want you to email me if at all possible, because I don't like email. So I try to teach the sales associates to get to know the accountant, and they're all individuals. Ask them why they're in practice.
Right.
Like, not just, hey, we got to go sell this next payroll, or we need to go sell this next 401k plan. But get to know that accountant, because that accountant has sacrificed so much to be where they are. There's got to be this level of respect and understanding about them as a person. What's their goals? Do they want to be a wholesaler? Do they want to be a part of Run? What do they want to be part of?
Right.
Instead of you making assumptions about that accountant, get to know them as people first.
Yep, I agree, and I concur with Ron Baker. You're free to close that chapter and get on to speaking, because again, you just are really, 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 kind of like Tim, we're really good at it, and so I completely concur. Let's pivot for a second, and since we are at the conference, I want to get your thoughts overall on the conference that we've got going on here, Bridging the Gap. Just be really curious to see what you think, and what you've seen positively, and what you're hoping to get out of it.
Well, what's funny is, I'll tell you the first impression when I came downstairs and I walked through the hallway. There was this little buffet of food. I'm like, oh, okay, this must be where the breakfast is. So I'm like, well, I'll go put my bag down and I'll come back. It had nothing to do with your conference. It wasn't your food. I'm like, okay.
We did have food, though.
You did have food, and then it came down, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I see what we're doing here.
That was your first impression.
And then, but I was like, wow. And then when I came through and I looked into the big room, the main stage room, I was so impressed. Now, we've been to many conferences.
Oh, yes.
And I'll say, not a 3,000 person conference, but a smaller, more intimate conference I've not seen done as professional as this has been. And I mean that. I know I love you, and you know that.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying it. to be a speaker and to come and how organized your team was, staying on top of emails, making sure that we're, are we getting what you guys need from us as PowerPoints or whatever it may be, reminders, updates, information was coming regularly, and it all just worked. Right down to the badge. The name badge that you guys had, on the back of it has, this is the Wi-Fi that you're gonna join, here's the password. Everything was just really well thought out. I loved how you could come in and put whatever company name you wanted on your tag, and they put that right on. Like, those are the things that matter to an attendee. I know they sound small, but it's just well organized.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I've been hearing very positive things. My one pet peeve at conferences, not this conference, is the name tag.
Oh.
The name tag, you get these single strand, and they always flip backwards, and the writing's so small, you can't read the names. And I didn't look at that writing that close. I can read my name.
It's pretty good. You can look at your name tag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was my. Now, they came up with all the other stuff to put on there. I just said, I want a name tag with 2 different clips that doesn't flip around, that is going to be legible, readable. So. And
that is important. Like for me, I'm terrible at names. I don't want to be terrible, but I just am. And so to have the name bigger, sometimes you go to conferences and their first name is little, and their last name's big, or it's their little name and then their big company, and you're like, I don't know what your company name is.
Exactly.
And you're just like, Ben, you feel like an idiot.
I know.
Because you don't know what their name is. So that was very, very appreciative of that. But you got your vendor floor, which is great, and those guys are all like really interactive, and they're really interested in getting to know people. The food's been awesome, and the speakers have been great. The panels are really, even if it's a general discussion, it's not really a panel. It's a general discussion. I love the different aspects. We've got big firms, we've got small firms, and the perspectives of people who've only been in business for 5 or 7 years, and those of us old people who have been in for over 20, and to get new perspective, like those are the things that matter the most, where you can get that different perspective and not, I'm gonna sit there and listen to a big firm. I can't relate to you, but you were able to bring together all those aspects, which I think satisfied everybody's needs.
Yeah, I was very excited about this last panel that just occurred, the Generations panel, which was generation firms, not individuals, and the small, and how nimble and they can be, and pivoting quickly, and the large, where maybe they've got great process and procedures, but maybe they're not as nimble and pivoting as quick, and they can all learn from each other. So I was excited that they all were able to share really cool information. Before we wrap up, you are.
I thought we were going for 4 hours.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, it's only 3:48. We're going to 7:48.
So. All right, perfect.
I want to, but you have to catch a plane.
I guess so.
I was just going to say, your speaking career is continuing to advance because you're leaving here, and where are you going?
I'm going to BMW for their supplier event. So they have suppliers, people that make the name tags, make the shirts, all those kind of things that supply BMW with the things they need. So it's called a diversity supplier event, and there's 6 of us speakers who are going down there to help. These are small business owners. So we're going down to help. There's about 3,000 of them. And so we have a minute and a half to pitch our session, which I told them seatbelts on everybody, because that's going to go down hard. And so it's just a great opportunity to get in front of more business owners to help them understand their business and the ways to look at it. So that's been very exciting. So the speaking stuff is starting to really take off, and it's what I enjoy the most. It's what I'm just not passionate anymore about preparing a tax return. And I wanted to say something about what you mentioned, pivoting, real quick. So one of the things over the last year or two that I've found to be really advantageous is not feeling like I have to be great at everything. So I think we, as especially CPAs, I'm not picking on any other accounting professional, but we just never want to be wrong. So we feel like when something comes on, I don't want to say no, because then they're going to think I'm dumb or I don't know what I'm doing. So being able to partner with other firms where they're experts in their niche, nosh, whatever it may be.
Niche.
And so with Tri-Merit, what I've loved is I've got people who need ERC. I trust Tri-Merit to do the right thing with ERC. I also, same thing with R&D, just finishing through some R&D tax credits, got another client coming. I say to the client, listen, and I'm okay with saying this isn't my expertise. This is not my wheelhouse. This is very specialized tax.
Right.
And it's great to have partners within the industry where we can send them where they're going to be serviced and served best. And I think that that's something that a lot of people are starting to really figure out in their firm, that I don't have to be an expert at this. I can refer this out. It's not competition. Rather, it's an extension of your business, and that's been really exciting for me because I feel such less pressure.
That's nice. I actually think, and somebody was saying this recently, I think that the profession is going to go more that way, where it is more niche practices that then are supporting each other. I really think that that's a way that things can go. And we just started as a niche practice 16 years ago doing that, but I think it could go further. All right, so you, even though we want to go 4 more hours, you have to go catch a plane. I just want to say thank you for being here, and thank you for your friendship. And the fact that I get to say that I knew you when, because you are on this rocket ship to stardom, and I'm really excited to see that.
That's super humbling, and I'm not sure it's going to go that way. But regardless, I just hope that I can help people and that I'm doing the right thing by people as best I can, and that I'm surrounding myself with people who motivate me and that I care about. And we've only known each other for a little over a year, which is weird.
I know, it's weird.
It's weird, but it was just natural. It was a natural, like, oh my goodness, where's this guy been? And I think you have put this conference, you have put together, and you've brought in some of the greatest people in our industry who really care about each other. It is not a superficial thing. It's not a yeah, rah, rah. It's deep connections with great people. And I think that that's one of the things that makes this unique.
Ooh,
Did I do that well?
Nice.
That makes what you've done unique because it's really brought people together who need to support each other. And I'm thankful, and I thank you for including me because you've helped me lift up, and your friends that you've introduced, Kenji and Matthew May, all those guys who I didn't really know before. And now I feel like I'm in the big boys club, big girls club, and I'm really appreciative of that. Very humbling, Randy. I love you, man.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Thanks again for being here.
Anytime.